Men's Grand Final about to get underway. Kingborough taking on Grenadiers here. And here we go. Referees Aaron Clement and Alex Brown to get us underway. And we'll re-jump that one. A little bit too high from referee Aaron Clement. We'll reset the clock to 10 and take 2 here as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre. Great to have you with us on our coverage here by the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel. Nyhouse and Taylor to take us on the tip, mind you. The scoreboard just needs to go back to 10. There it goes. So here we go, and we are underway. Grenadiers will control it to the right of your screen, have controlled the tip, and it's Sam Ewell with the ball carrying duties. Now to Howard. Interim Young on the turnaround step, kind of turnaround spin move shot, and it goes for Matty Young. So Grenadiers open up the scoring. 2-sip. So Strasmer, now in terms Shepherd, puts it to the floor, goes with a floater over Taylor, can't get it to go. Now Ewell off and running for Grenadiers. Does have the numbers in support, but didn't need it in the end and gets the 2. And we are 4-sip here, Grenadiers, with the early run so far. So Nyhouse, that's collapses. Now Pawson. And ball goes out of play. So Grenadiers to get it back here.
There's some good matchups in this one, Ronnie.
There certainly are, as Glenn Fairfield joins me in commentary for this one. JB will join us later on a little bit as he's just taking a quick lunch break. So Ewell, now to his brother Sam, puts it to the floor, puts it up, and a good drive by Sam Ewell, and it's a 6-0 run. Mark Nash has seen enough. He'll call timeout, and Glenn, a good start for Grenadiers in this grand final.
And it is, like, we're aware that the Kings have, they don't have
As long as we're now aware, sorry to interrupt, boys, that Mark Nash doesn't have a timeout in this quarter, that'd be great.
Special comments by JB. Go ahead, Glenn.
I was just going to say that on paper, the Grenadiers, especially their 5, are really strong. And then I think they've got Harry Griffiths, who's an up-and-coming player as well off the bench. So
yeah,
they've got a very strong crew, an experienced crew with Matty Young, Sam Ewell, Josh Ewell, Louis Taylor does his stuff, and I'm trying to work out if they've got anyone else. Who's the other player? I'm not sure.
So we've got James Neward there as well too. James Neward, Louis Taylor, Matty Young.
Yeah. And Bestwick's.
Oh yeah, Alex Bestwick, who will be a good energy spark.
Yeah.
As well too.
And I just think that each time we look at Kingston, I think they had a couple other players. They've obviously got some more to come in, but they've definitely got a lot of shooting prowess. And it'd be good to see Elijah Pawson really take it at Sam Ewell. That'd be a great duel in this game. So.
Absolutely. Strasmer works his way into the middle, can't get that shot to go. Then rebound by Ewell as we come up the floor here. As Grenadiers will get into a bit of a set and look to run off of horns here. Now Taylor thought about it, puts it to the floor, goes one-on-one with Nyhouse, and it was a good option. Louis Taylor lobs it and will go to the line for 1.
He is pumped. Foul
is on Nyhouse, and the run continues. That's 8-sip now in the first 2 minutes.
And it's not something that Kingston have been familiar with. They're normally the team that get out of the blocks first over this weekend. So, I'm sure that Mark Nash has, had said what he needed to say to his boys, and, he wants them to settle down and just get back to the normal style of basketball that they play. And
Louis Taylor completes the 3-point play. So 9-sip to start us off the first 2 minutes of this grand final as we come to you from the Kingborough Sports Centre here on Kingborough's home floor. So you'd be interested to see, as Pawson can't get that shot to go. I was saying, Glenn, really Kingborough home game on their home floor, so they've got to do a better job of protecting the home floor. Matty Young thought about a 3. Can't get that to stick. Ewell fighting hard on the O boards. Gets the shot, can't get it to go. Nyhouse with the rebound, and Pawson coming up the floor here.
I think Jalen Howard was the one that I was trying to work out from the first 5.
Yes, sorry. Glenn, of course, Jalen Howard had been out of the game for a little bit, but good to see him back. Nyhouse from deep, and finally gets his scoring account open along with Kingston.
That's Tom the Anvil Nyhouse.
So Yule coming up the floor here.
Jim the Anvil Nyhard, wasn't it? Jim the Anvil Nyhard.
Well done. You've got the reference.
There you go. So Yule.
Unpaid promotion.
Thank you very much. Here's Howard. Good to see Jalen Howard back into the ball game as well too, as Yule couldn't get the 3 to go.
Yes.
Yes.
Jalen back from Melbourne. He was backwards and forwards there for the last couple of years, and he had a really good game to end yesterday and had some good shots in their semi-final. So it'll be interesting to see how he can go. Bring the best out of him in this Kings game. Sometimes Jalen needs a bit of a challenge. As Youngie goes bang and stares. Where's the arrow?
So was Jalen Howard, was he playing basketball over there or studying, or what was
A bit of both, but certainly been playing some basketball over there. Hasn't lost his touch. Matty Young went bang. Back to you, Ronnie.
Yes, no, nice to see Jalen back down here in Hobart. So Strassman down low, one-on-one with Yule, former teammates with another Hobart franchise. Foul is called on Josh Yule, though, for coming in on the side.
Yeah, easy call.
And Strassman will go to the line for 2.
Easy call there. Come across, took the arm. It doesn't matter if you're straight up. You broke the cylinder. Simple as that.
Absolutely. So Noah Strassman to the line here. And of course, Noah's had from the last quarter I seen in the previous game when I got here, lads, it was Noah, played a solid last quarter from what I seen. And he's coming along all right.
I think he yesterday he had some. I think he might have had some big numbers as well. Probably in the first today, he was probably the quietest game until the last probably quarter and a half, I think. But he's a player that Kingston rely on, and he's really improved 110%. His confidence is so good now.
So Josh Yule with the ball carrying duties here, gives it off to Taylor. So Taylor now to Sam Yule. Thought about it, goes to Young. Young working his way down low. Can't get that to go. Tap rebound couldn't work for either. So Strassman with it as we go up the floor. Gives it off to Pawson. Pawson misses that one. Now Young. Now back to Yule. He's got Howard on the other side. Goes to Young. Young puts it to the floor and then puts it up.
Oh,
and a little bit of body English on that one, JB, and gets that 2 to go.
Is that the James Harden throw up with 2 arms to try and get the foul?
Can you believe he mentioned his name? I was about to mention Bill Walton. This man brings up James Harden.
Yes.
Did you see the way he tried to go for the foul, though?
Well, to be fair, he did have contact early. He did go for the drive, took the arms, and considering your previous criticism of him, Glenn, wasn't finishing strong enough, I thought you might be a bit more complimentary on that.
I actually thought it was a good. There's no complaints about what he did.
So collapses with the ball. Nyhouse down low, works his way through. Beautiful job off glass there by Nyhouse.
He stares at that left hand. He's got the DeAndre Jordan on it, but no, he's had a very good day here, Tommy Nyhouse. He started strong in the semi-final game they had, and he's come out even stronger here.
So Young.
He's done a great job, hasn't he? He's probably been one of the...
Sam Yule from downtown, can't get that to go.
Caleb Nash wanted to get that one.
And Louis Taylor with the ball. Now back to Josh Yule as Grenadiers will reset. 7 on the shot clock. They need to get busy. Josh Yule needs to do something and gives it to Howard and can't get that to go. So collapses with the rebound as we come back down the floor. 4.5 remaining in this first quarter in this grand final of the pre-season tournament.
Caught him in motion too.
Gets the 3 to go. And margin back to 4 now, 14-10.
It's a good cross-court pass there. Caught him in motion. Only had to lean a little outside of his cylinder. Put the shot straight up. Plenty of space. Gets it done. And as you mentioned there, Ronnie, back to 4.
Yes, good little run here by Kingborough as they work their way back into this game after what was a bit of a nervous, slow start.
Oh,
from them.
Beautiful pass.
Great pass inside. Howard got drew the foul and will go to the line for 2.
There's a big foul there. But it's really good just to see, we look at Noah Strassman's last shot before, and you guys are so up to date with the Chargers stuff, but the work that he put in, credit to Anthony Stewart and the coaching crew, but the work that Noah put in at 6 o'clock in the morning with Jack Stamix and Elijah Pawson and Geordie Hargrave and Lamb Smith, it's really showing, and Jacob Richards, it's really showing, and now, people don't mind Noah having a 3-point shot now. Although he's generally an inside player, but he's just so confident, and the hard work. But I'd also like to say that how do you say his name? Nyhouse. Yeah, I believe from the way that I'm watching him play now, I think that Mark Nash must have grabbed him and has been doing some one-on-one work because Nash was so good inside, but it just looks like a
Strassman with the 3.
Junior Nash. So. Developing players is what, why Hobart's so lucky with the coaches we've got, and that's a second 3 in a row for Noah, and we've got another still here.
Turnover here. Strasmer works his way through. Can't get the back-to-back baskets. And good work by Young as he comes up the floor now. Tries to get through Collapses, and a foul called.
And that was a very quick Michael Claps's point and direction. Mark Nash asking the question there. Clement on the spot. Substitutions as Latham comes in for Lewis, but
that's the first time I've seen Latham the whole weekend, isn't it?
he played every game yesterday.
Oh, well, I didn't see him on court. He must have had a quiet one.
This man can't see. This man can't hear. We're going to have to get these sign language.
I'm just trying to work out. Did I?
I had to bring him a monitor, feed it through.
I don't know if I did.
Sign language.
No, I don't know if I did commentary for their game actually.
No, he was definitely here.
As Young knocks down the free throw, Grandy's up by 5, 18-13.
Just noticed here though, with
they're running seven people on the bench. They didn't have.
Yeah, they've been
on the
running
bench yesterday.
they've run a full bench all weekend.
7.
Yep, absolutely. They've run a full bench all weekend.
Strasmo puts it to the floor, puts up the shot.
5 minutes of their first game, they've run a full bench all weekend. The Grenadiers.
And Yule coming up the floor here now. Got a couple to beat, and then good defensive play by Clapses, but Clapses wanted something totally different out of that.
He's had a lot to say here in the opening part of this quarter here, Clapses.
He certainly has.
He's just heading off for a bit of a spell, a bit of a comfort break. I think Mark Nash is just controlling him a little bit there.
And I think
though he's showing good passion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we've had, how many games over the weekend? 15, 20 games?
9 and 5 is 14.
14, so it's just nice.
Second option there by
We just
Howard.
don't want to see it's a grand final. It's a showcase game. There's a crowd here. We don't want to see the players get back in the bad habit of, starting to whinge and moan at the referees because there's no need for it, and they've done such a good job.
There's another Stratsma.
Young Geordie Strasmer on the floor. Good to see him out and about as well too. Ball goes out of bounds. So Kingborough get it back. Alex Bestwick coming into the game, rocking the pink headband.
The man who doesn't foul and the man who's always fouled has been very quiet this weekend, and finally got a headset to match those, we'll call them shoes. Fashionable is a question, but they're shoes.
Pawson putting on some moves, goes from downtown, can't get it to go. Good box out there by Newitt.
Great
on
box out,
Nash.
actually. That was a fantastic box out.
And now Latham with it as we go cross court to Samuel.
Matty Young sending everyone away. He wants a bit of work himself, I do believe.
So Yule puts it to the floor.
Inside.
Shot clock at 8. Decides to go solo. Can't get that one to go. Bestwick with the O board. Young step back three is not good, unfortunately, JB.
Online.
It was online as Shepherd brings it down the floor here now.
And Bain Shepherd seems to have changed up the wrists as well. Yes, Jeremy, it's unbelievable. They got him on the hip and have to call a foul. Ask him for a hook. I didn't really see a hook there.
I didn't think there was much of a hook in that one.
No, not at all.
So I think there's more defence need to do a better job there. But Caleb Nash to restart us off. And now Collapses with the ball. Beautiful drive in and draws the foul on Latham.
He's bringing that energy on both ends of the floor, the great man, which is good to see. Notice that both Stratsmas aren't on the floor at the same time. Mark Nash, noticeably, Glenn, actually resting Stratsma and Pawson early in the piece. He usually gives them a bit of a rest heading into the third quarter. That would be lovely. I've been eyeing that off for the last couple of minutes. Ronnie's got a chocky there.
I just bought Ronnie one.
He'll get to himself. But, yeah, interesting by Coach Nash to be resting both of those scorers early.
And if you can give them a minute, normally you don't see this. So but it's good for the young fellas to step up as well.
So Collapses knocks down that free throw. So margin back at 6, minute 5 remaining in this first quarter. And Newitt with it now. So Newitt putting it to the floor. Got some skates on him. Has to kick it out back to Latham. In turn to Young.
He's been a little more offensive this weekend, Newey. He hasn't been stuck in that defensive role. Young with a step back. Bang!
Beautiful shot by Matty Young. Marching back out to 9.
I love that. He does the mini shrugs. He does the Xavier Dersma arrow from Port Adelaide. He's got it all in the trick bag, Youngie.
He needs to save that for our NBL 1 coverage. The foul will be called on Bestwick.
No, to be on
Newitt.
Come across and took the arms.
Yep, no, well spotted, JB.
Long time. I haven't seen I don't think I've seen a 3-second call this weekend. There's a lot of people in the middle of the key.
No, we haven't had a 3-second call, but
timeout called here with 29 seconds remaining in the first.
We also haven't had one all weekend, which means that
Good.
they're going to start calling him now.
I don't want to see one now.
It doesn't look the greatest. But no, funnily enough, the best move Newey's ever made in his basketball life, we didn't actually have on film.
Oh,
Sitting on the baseline when we were trying to, not this laptop, the other one.
Yes.
Because obviously we'd cleared that out. We had to reinstall everything.
yes. Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. It's lucky we didn't have that one. Otherwise, we wouldn't have live streamed at all.
There you go.
But-
there you go.
Newey's come in. They've sealed off the baseline too much. He simply spun inside. He's gone under the hoop and scored it in. Couldn't believe it. I went up to him later on and told him it's the best move never caught on film. He was awfully disappointed with me. So
Oh dear.
poor old James. But I mean, that sort of shows the depth to this Grenadiers team. And I mean, one right through now. I mean, they've got a legitimate 8-9 deep rotation. Harry Griffiths coming forward. You'll have Zach Minty, Jordan Latham.
Actually 10 deep now.
Yeah,
really.
10 deep almost. When you look, I'm just looking at their lineup here. I mean, Louis Taylor is going to be in that team. You've got Jalen Howard. You've got
Is that little Dolliver at the end?
Yes, that is Dolliver.
He can play too, man.
so there's
He can.
They're,
Yeah, good little kid.
they're
I
a
reckon.
very deep team, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, the Grenadiers knew the deal with accidental steal as Strasma
Strathmore
goes up, can't get that to go, and Newey just doing what he can do best.
and Strathmore goes thirds and then gives it off to Shepherd.
I think you saw Newey as well there.
Shot
Get a
clock
rebound.
at 10 here, so Kingborough need to get busy. Now shot clock at 5, so Pawson needs to do something. Good defensive sequence by Bestwick. Pawson puts it up.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get it to go. The tip nearly from Shepherd. Now
Nyhouse.
Nyhouse working hard.
The anvil.
And then good job there. 1 second to go. That's a block. And that is quarter time. And an entertaining first quarter sees Grandies up by 9, 23-14. We'll take a quick break and be back with more right after this. Second quarter about to get underway here from Kingborough Sports Centre as Peter Roby's just coming and saying hello to us here at the broadcast booth.
G'day to Matty Young, by the way.
Yes.
Can we get the arrow, please, Youngie?
And
We've got to wait till he hits another 3-pointer.
player request coming out left, right, centre here as we restart. There was a foul on the play, so Kingborough to restart. Now, ball down low with Strasma.
Good steal there by
And
Griffiths.
then Griffiths
Played
able
the-
to pick off the long cross-court pass. Here's Bestwick
and
slowing this one down.
yeah, they're just sauntering into their offense here thanks to one M. Young.
So Bestwick down low to Latham. Latham putting on some moves. Goes to a tough shot. Can't get that to go. Good rebound by Nyhouse. And then foul on the play here. And that's going to be on Newitt.
Brown loves that whistler, and I love the way he does officiate. He does officiate these games. He makes the call. He gets onto it straight away. He doesn't stress with it or anything. Just makes the call. And he's really clear with his refereeing too.
Yeah.
There's no question about what he's called. He tells you straight away.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what you want from our officials, of course. Now Pawson with it. Inside to Nyhouse. Back to Clapsis out at the 3 here. So Claps is looking at his options. Now gives it off to Shepherd. Shot clock is at 7. Shepherd went up, but lost the handle there. And Kingborough to get it back with 4 remaining here.
I just think the Kings need to start really running some structure here to open up this second quarter. They got a little bit lost in their own offense there in the first. And I think it's just those mini battles we talked about all through the day. And he was still out of bounds, and Mark Nash is fuming. Look for that to be a timeout very soon.
And that's basics, like, it's that Division 1 basketball, that sort of
So just a
error
warning.
shouldn't happen, should it?
Aaron just checks on him. Mark is absolutely fuming. But yeah, as we mentioned, it's just he was more frustrated his players, and that's what Aaron's just checking. But as mentioned there, Glenn, it's just the little things. Get a steal now. They need to finish here.
So Pawson is clear.
Oh, he had to readjust
But good work
there.
by Latham to hustle back and apply some pressure onto that shot. Young to Bestwick on the mini alley play.
And that's a big play that would upset Nash. Like, it was a layup that Elijah Pawson, he's a 99 out of 100 layup maker. So he's...
Yeah, well, that was big
took it-
pressure. That was a big body in Latham coming through. Strasma to ease
for
things.
3, gets it to go. Nice work by Noah Strasma. Margin back it to 8.
But now they need to come down, Ronnie, and they need to get a stop and then, again, get back into this set and get into an offensive form. And Mark Nash just gave himself his 30 seconds. If they're going to give up easy points here, look for another timeout.
So Griffiths now on the court and is putting some moves on Strasma.
Oh,
And then good pass. Well,
Good D.
wasn't good defense as well too, JB. The pass wasn't that bad, I don't
And that's
think.
just gone
And then
straight.
Strasma decided to clear that one up for us. So substitution.
Mark Nash just put his hands there like he was praying for God. Yes. Did you see that? He's like, oh, don't do it. Oh, he's done it.
Caleb Nash into the game. Second Minty into the game as well,
This
too.
is probably a smart coaching move from Mark, because at least if he directs it at Caleb, it's constructive.
So,
tough fatherly love.
Thank you very much. So Matty Young with it. He top of the key.
Oh,
1-2 action
play.
to Yule, and they get it to go. Great work there by Grandiers.
And I actually don't think that was bad defence there by the Kings. That one was perfectly executed. But as we talk about, Ronnie and Glenn, we talk about it in the SBL season all the time. It's that energy that the Grenadiers build.
And good defensive play there by Griffiths, who's shown some good energy out here on the floor. He forced a jump ball, and it's going to be a Grandiers ball.
That was a very good call, I must add.
It's the energy. Now, yeah, because I hadn't changed the arrow, so that's fine. But it's the energy that's expended. As Samuel has kept the dribble there.
Yeah, he's kept the dribble alive.
It's the energy and confidence the Grenadiers breed. When they're playing like this, they're almost unstoppable by anyone in the state. Just is their length and their confidence. As Youngie goes in, fouled, he'll go to the line. But it's when they're not playing with confidence that causes issues.
And Klapsis probably just needs to...
Yeah, he's pushed the limit enough, but I don't mind that because he knows where that limit now is. Again, I think it's just a matter of the Kings. They've got to get their defensive stops. When they come down, they're running, they're bustling. They're not allowing the energy of the Grenadiers' previous possession to die down, and therefore the Grenadiers, they're still ticking through, and the Kings are still in a rush, in a sense. I think they've got to come down, they've got to settle, and again, it's those mini battles and those mini wins. It's an 11-point margin now. You know, we're looking at a 4-possession basketball game, so realistically, they've got to have 8 straight wins to really be back into this game.
So Klapsis with the ball carrying duties as he gives this one off to Strasma. So Strasma now Nash.
And they've gone without the ball.
And then
here's that panic and hustle.
A little bit out of sync there as Strasma goes for it. Can't get that to go. Nyhouse with the O board. Can't get that one to go either. Youngie with the rebound.
And Mark Nash again frustrated.
So Yule coming up the floor here.
It's good to see the intensity is so good. Like these guys are treated like a grand final. It's a pre-season game, but
and you can feel that intensity too.
Good crowd, you know.
Griffiths, this would be a bullet.
Yes,
can we quickly just have a look at the Grenadiers bench there? Like, you know, 3 or 4 players are up. We'll talk about the state team before, how there was just like
there was no energy, no one moving.
That sort of stuff there, you know, that's another 2 points having people like that in the bench.
See, and now there's a mental break here. Sorry to interrupt your flow here, Ronnie, but there's a mental break, as that's an easy miss. But it's the mental issue now for the Kings. They've only scored 17 and they're down 14. You know, they've doubled their score almost as Yule inside.
Nice.
And there's Mark Nash with a timeout.
They go for a timeout there.
And I'm glad we don't have Mark Nash mic'd up here because it would suddenly not be a family program, Ronnie.
Yeah, yes, I think
he's not a real swearer. Like, you know, he's pretty good normally. Oh, he does indeed now. But like, it just feels that after you've seen the full squad yesterday, like it just feels like they're undermanned. Obviously, which they are.
Well, they're only missing Lucas Simpson
and Badanak. Well, I mean for the season.
For the season. For the season, but for the change in the game yesterday, it's Simpson. But you've only got to look at the body language here. They're not in a huddle. You know, granted they're paying interest, but they're very spaced out. They seem to be more individual than collective. Meanwhile, you look at the Grenadiers. They're hyped. They're energised. Their bench guys have gotten up to allow their starters to rest. You know, they're getting about the drinks. You know, they're helping one another out. They're contributing. Confidence breeds confidence. But to look at the 2 benches there, 2 completely different parties. Ronnie, you'd know as a coach, just reading those body languages there, without looking at the scoreboard, you know the game situation.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that Grandiers group has been around for quite some time. You know, and they've just been throwing in a few pieces left, right, centre, and they're brought into what the team culture is all about. I still feel Kingborough is still building, and they've been a little bit up and down throughout the last couple of years with their personnel. So for Grenadiers to have that core group and to be working so many years on, it's really paying dividends. So margin is now at 16, 33-17, 4:44 remaining in the second quarter. As Klapsis comes down with the ball, hand off to Nash.
We've got 3 under-18 kids for Kingston on the floor.
Yeah, Nyhouse,
that's
Nash,
awesome. That's brilliant.
And Stratsma.
You know, so they're going to make mistakes. That's okay, but I tell you what, it's going to make the club stronger and stronger because of the stuff that because of the junior development the clubs are putting in place.
So Griffiths now Young,
There
back
it
to
is.
Griffiths,
Looks
open,
good.
and missed everything.
Nothing but net, not in a good way.
That's right, JB, as collapses now with the ball off a Nash rebound. And collapses just
Nice steal from Griffiths and very
Yeah,
smart play.
yeah.
Very smart play.
very smart play, Glenn. Absolutely. Substitution, Josh Yule coming in. And looks like his brother Sam is going to have a bereaver.
And he does read the play well, Harry Griffiths. I've seen him play a number of times. I used to ref him and stuff. And he's a lefty as well. But, yeah, I know his dad and his uncles, and they've had a lot to do with basketball, so he's got a really good basketball brain. And it's good to see him out here playing today.
Youngie misses one that he probably should have made. As Strassman now comes down the floor. He's got Nash in support, put it to the floor, and then nearly gets himself into trouble there.
Call travel.
Geordie Strassman now to Nyhouse. Good move, young fella, and gets the two.
And that's what Nyhouse has done all day. He did that in the first game, and it's just, again, those little things where he's able to get inside, he's able to use his size, he's been able to get those senior minutes under his belt in the last couple of years, and he's trying to take advantage of it.
So Young with the spin.
Sneaky.
Putting him through the spin cycle there as Yule goes himself, and it was a good option. Josh Yule showing he can provide downtown coverage.
Even Louis
He
Taylor
has
couldn't
2
believe
shots
that.
a game. He has 2 shots a game, and
He usually
pulled
makes
that
one of them.
out. Yep.
So ball now with Strassmer. He decides to respond but can't. Bestwick pulls that one in. Now Yule. So Yule coming up the floor here to Griffiths. Back to Yule. He puts it to the floor. Then
Good defence
loses
there
the
by
handle.
Stratsma.
So Nash working his way through.
Good job,
Good
Nash.
move
Oh.
by Nash. And he drew the foul. And young Caleb Nash will go to the line for 2.
You know what? Just sorry to interrupt you there, Glenn. That's something that the Kings need. They need a young guy just to get in there, barrel through, get to the line.
Yeah, that was awesome play. That was awesome. He's... and if they see the young kids doing it, then, the older guys are going to have to think, oh, we need to step up a bit more. Because look how good our three young fellas are doing. And I think
Nyhouse.
Nyhouse. It's funny because he takes the ball inside and then he's defending a guard up the other end. So I'm still not sure what position he actually is going to play with.
He's
his
got a
team
lot of
when they get
dexterity
into,
to his game.
He has, but gosh, he's improved a lot. So and he's tough inside. He goes hard to the basket.
So margin at 15 as Nash made 2 of 2 from the line. As now Yule with it down the other end.
Oh,
Inside
Taylor
to
sneaks in.
Taylor. And now
Minty,
Howard. Yeah, no, can't get it to go. All right, so Shepherd to slow this one down here.
So the Kings are just sort of starting to stem that momentum that the Grenadiers were building here. 15 points, 2 minutes to go. They want to cut this down to, there's a block there from Taylor.
Sure.
They're going to want to cut this one down to about 10 points. And again, it's those mini victories from there, boys.
It is, and that's 15. That's where they want to get it at.
Yeah, get it down to 10 and go from there.
Elijah Parsons had a reasonably quiet game, I think, thus far, and they've got to get him going.
All of their key contributors, to be fair, have had reasonably quiet games. It has been your Nyhouses and your Nashes that are getting it done.
Shepherd can't get that to go. Young with the rebound as we come up the floor here. 90 seconds to play. Term number 2 before the major break. Well, what was that, fellas? You tell me.
That was an Academy Award-winning dive. He himself knows. But, I mean, see, even a little decision down there by Shepherd, you've got to read the play of the game at the moment. It's certainly been the energy of the young fellas getting it done. You then taking it upon yourself outside of the flow of that momentum can, in turn, kill that momentum.
Maybe a fadeaway when you're down by 15 is probably not the best option.
Stratsma, lovely.
Nice work by young Jordan Strassman as he gets the 2.
And here's Mark.
Yule to Howard. Good transition play. Gets the fake and gets the 2.
And there's this pressure that Mark Nash has been trying to apply all weekend, Glenn, wanting to get his team to get up defensively. And while it is the last 2 minutes of the quarter, this is something that he's been imploring all weekend and needing it to pay dividends now. Good pass.
Yeah, good touch passing there by the Kings. Foul called. That'll be on Howard.
Yeah, it was on the floor. First foul.
Yeah, the players have got to know where they're at. Nash. Obviously, they've set up a good little trap there, but then the other team gets a layup down the other end, so you've really got to work out who's where. And don't let teams get fast breaks, especially like that.
Kings are now off to the line due to the foul count. That being 5-1, second quarter.
So.
And fair too. There's been... It's definitely... I don't think the Grenadiers are saying that, hey, this is unfair, look at the foul count, 5. It's not like that. It's just the refs have been really consistent. And Grenadiers a foul more. It's simple. Like,
Yeah, it's a
if I'm trying to say what I mean, but you know that, and they're fouling hard as well. But a couple of breakdowns in
goaltending. Goaltending.
Now.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yep.
You can't smack the rim.
Yeah.
Yes, ball was on its way down. Mark Nash thought maybe not, but referee Alex Brown.
Well, to be fair, that backboard's still shaking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I don't know if it's going up or down. I don't know. I stay away from them rules. You guys know better than me.
Last play, turn number 2. Pawson. Now to Shepherd. Puts it to the floor. Pulls up from the free throw.
No good.
Can't get that to go. Taylor lost his hairband. Now we're seeing the full effect of his hair. Half-time here sees Grenadiers playing a fantastic second quarter, and they have a 16-point lead, 40-24. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the second half right after this. Second half about to get underway here from the Kingborough Sports Centre as we talk music and concerts and Jimmy Barnes and all.
Good way to put it.
It's all happening here. Meanwhile, Shepherd can't get the opening salvo of the second half. Taylor with the rebound.
Leading down.
And the only reason why it popped up was because Brendan Stamix actually is going to watch Jimmy Barnes play today, and he was not going to coach. He was not going to be able to coach in the grand final. So one of the players said.
That's why the boys picked up the pace. Quick game's a good game. Youngie, bang, off the ring.
And
Louis
Taylor with the tip
paddle
in.
pop lion. Get it done.
Nice work by Louis Taylor. And the margin out to 18 here. This is threatening to blow out.
And the hardest thing there for Mark Nash, who's a big, as a forward, boxing out was one of his main traits, and he doesn't like to see his players not box out and do the basic fundamentals.
I'll tell you what, this is not characteristic of the Kings basketball we've seen so far, boys. This is the characteristics of the Kings team that cost themselves in that semi-final last year, Hobart versus the Kings in that final 10 minutes, 15 minutes of play where they just shot themselves in the foot. They're going to need to really lift here.
Oh, they are. They are, but...
So Newitt inside the Yule one-on-one collapses down low. Beautiful pass into Young. Can't finish. Strassman with the board as we come back down the floor here. Shepherd putting it to the floor. Good pressure there by Newitt. Well. Nyhouse over Taylor. Yes.
He's going to be, if he can get another 4 inches of height on him, he's going to be a dangerous competitor anywhere in the country.
Absolutely.
And that's why I said I'm sure that Mark Nash has put some time in one-on-one because you can just see this development. If you get a forward coach and he's an ex-NBL champion and an Australian
good defence
player,
there by Shepherd.
So turnover here as Shepherd goes himself. Good hands by Young. Taylor able to pick up the scraps. Young hasn't realised the delayed message, and then it's a backcourt violation.
But the question there, Ronnie, I ask is, was he in control of the basketball?
Well, that is a good question, JB. I'm saying he did have demon control, so good call by the officials.
Well, it wasn't even that he had full control, but the player, he was definitely 100% hitting the ball to his teammate, which was an advantage to them.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, and that's fair call too.
Yeah, so I thought that was a good call.
So Yule, now Young, puts it to the floor. Nice pocket pass in the Josh Yule. Can't get that one to go either, so the complete reversal there. Strasma. Now Shepherd here at the corner from 3. Just can't get that one to go.
Tommy Nyhouse was being held.
Good call.
Now,
and Youngie's gone.
Is Youngie going to be given a behaviour warning?
Well, no, I don't reckon that'll be behaviour warning, Ronnie. He'll be gone, I reckon.
I reckon it'll be attacked because they already had a warning.
Yep, there we go. There it is. I just did.
Just need to be careful, though, Youngie, because Youngie will get to a point where he will protest left, right and centre.
Yes.
And, and if the referee in this instance doesn't call that attack, the youngsters that are here watching the game are going to go and do that next week on
exactly
juniors.
Right. It's a correct
call. Right. Yeah, and it's good to see a mini crowd here too, and some youngsters here as well too, watching the game.
See a couple of well-known people over here as well in David Bartlett. Good to see David, former Chargers president, coming down to support his Kings team. So.
Yes, he won't be happy with what he sees, though, I don't feel. Down 15 here, and Shepherd's hit the deck.
Yeah, now he's... I'm not sure. Accidental hit, JB, you reckon?
Oh, yeah, he ran into Jalen's hip. There's not much you can do about it. He went low.
He's got a hard hit on the noggin there.
He did, and he kept his head down.
He's got his head's replica of a cat, a replica of a cat's head. He takes hits left, right, and centre here, Shep.
He certainly does. So let's hope he's okay.
It stunned him a bit, actually.
So Pawson from downtown can't get that to go. Bank is not open.
bursting through like Tarzan with those 45-inch arms. Look at him.
Yes.
The size of him.
Utilised them pretty well here, lads. So
He could shoot that from the car park and then have a roast dinner while it's on the way.
Young puts it to the floor.
You carry that then.
That's going to
And then Claptress there picks it up as we come back down the floor here for the Kings.
We're going to capitalise.
So now Nash gets involved with the up and under miraculously. Porcelain to save. Strasma pulls up from 15.
Nice.
Yes.
You know, they're 13 down now, but I think Paulson's trying to get his way back into the game. And I think if he can get on a bit of a roll now and help out some of the other Kingston boys, they might just... It might just be a little bit of hope for him.
Young puts it up, can't get it to go. Goes seconds and will get it to go. Foul's been called on Nyhouse on that one.
Yeah.
So just getting confirmation there on Thomas Nyhouse.
And I just think Matty Young, that won't be too bad because I think he's I think he feels he's had a little bit of contact during the game, but the big issue that he has is that Youngie gets very
Animated.
So referee Aaron Clement having some words with Louis Taylor and Noah Strasma. I think that's just on the wrap up there on the free throw rebound situation.
And the one thing, Youngie gets very adamant about things and sometimes he gets a little too passionate. We saw that happen last year in a game where the referees had to throw him out. So for Youngie in a final, considering that yesterday he played a game, that's a nice drive by Clapsus, he played a game and qualified even through Estelle's birthday, which I know he really didn't want to get away from either. So he's going to want to stay out there because he's an X factor in the Grenadiers winning this game.
Now,
good screen.
Yule thinks about it, puts it to the floor, and draws a foul on Noah Strasma.
No, that's a good call as well. I've noticed that Sam Yule today hasn't done the old head flop, which is,
Just no, he's next not on a swivel, which has been quite interesting.
I think the headband's there holding it down or something.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
Good grief!
But you get Sam. He's probably one of the best ones. Liam Smith does it a bit as well. And it doesn't help him get calls. It just doesn't. But
Sam Yule goes for three, can't get that to go. Geordie Strasma with the rebound is off and running, gives it to Nash. Nash goes cross court to Noah Strasma from downtown. Two-piece of the rim without success as we come back down the floor here now. Grant is on transition. Yule thought about it, slows it right down. Taylor inside, not for that option. Now Yule. Now we go to Taylor. So Taylor down low, kicks it out. Yule, shot clock at 8. Has to go with a nice pass to Young. And Young just flat on that shot there. Geordie Strasma with a good rebound.
Good
foul
call
beyond
there by
Sam
Mr.
Yule.
Brown.
So, again, a nice little set there in that one. Where good look. Just unfortunate the ball didn't drop. So 4:10 remaining in this third quarter. As Geordie Strasma with the ball carrying duties here for the Kings. Seeing some extended court time.
So it's back to 14 points here, and the Kings are going to need to do something. As Claps just wanted something, and then there's an unsportsmanlike call on that one.
I think Clapsus the other one with the head fake. I was trying to work out who it was, but Clapsus and Yule are probably the two bigger head fakes in the league. And in that instance, the referee's looking after the players' interests. And I didn't exactly see what happened there. I just saw a body hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised there. Just hearing a little bit there from Aaron Clement that there was feet involved. I mean, they did tangle a bit, but we will see what happens there. Obviously, they will talk it out, but it's 47-31. It's out to 16 here, and the Kings are going to, again, it's now back to those mini battles. They need to have 6 straight possessions here, realistically, where they capitalise on both ends to make this just a double-digit game alone. So there's a good start.
And Sam Yule just passed that one to Mark Nash.
I think Mark Nash wanted to launch that one a little bit there.
I think he wanted to.
Wouldn't it be great to have someone like him, even at 45 or whatever he is, to come back and suit up on a...
And as Carla
So
Nash
there's
knocks down the triple, and that results in a timeout for Jeremy Hill. Margin back to 16, 47-31, 3:32 remaining.
So that's not a bad...
13 points now.
Yeah, 13 points. There's one of those mini wins. I mean, that even shortens your combativeness there. As I said, mini wins, realistically, look at every opportunity as a 2-point opportunity. If you get more for it, great. If you get half of it, well, you're 50% of the way there. They've managed to force a turnover. They've managed to get a basket at this point now. You know, it's still a 2-possession game, but that turns it to single digits now rather than a 3-point play. So I think Mark Nash is going to implore them. The Kings have plenty of hot shooting and energy and home crowd to get them to do it. Meanwhile, the Grenadiers, I'm still reading their body language. They still feel they're well in control of this game, and they're right to think that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Ronnie, what are you reading?
Rulebook. I've just quickly brought
He's got everything.
Zero step.
Just on the unsportsmanlike foul, Article 37.1.1.4 dot point 4.
Are you reading this or Glenn?
Contact by the defensive player from behind or laterally on an opponent, an attempt to stop the fast break, and there's no defensive player between the offensive player and the opponent's basket. This applies until
the entire team was in front of them.
Yeah, so that's not that point, but there'll be another
it'd
point.
It's one of them, but I'm just trying to narrow it down.
Okay, well, we've got point. We're through.
I reckon it was unsportsmanlike because he obviously.
I wouldn't be surprised whether he's accidentally. I'd be surprised whether he stuck the leg out.
Yeah, and then knowing Sam Ewell, who can really milk a foul as well, he probably made it look worse than what it was.
Oh, he becomes Superman very quickly. I'll give him that.
But Sam was in the air when I saw it, so you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Griffiths for 3, misses everything once again, so collapses up the floor.
And there's some more head movement.
Nice, Nyhouse, now Pawson, into Strasma, down low, back to Nyhouse. Nyhouse with a double team and then quickly gets out of it. Back to the top here. Shot clock at 10 for the Kings. Pawson open.
Nope.
No, not on that one. And last touch by Josh Ewell.
So 2:50 remaining here in the third quarter. As I mentioned, it's the mini wins they've got to get now. So the Kings still within that possession realm here. They want to convert on a 2 or a 3-point opportunity here. Ideally, they're going to want the 3. Needs to get that ball in.
So Pawson puts it to the floor, splits a couple.
Nice.
Pass, good read by Josh Ewell, though, as he gets the defensive stop.
Great read there in defence.
So now Ewell with it. And we'll see what he can do here on the offensive end as the team gets into a bit of a high set here. Young, looking for an on-ball from Latham.
I think he's looking for contact.
Doesn't need it. Latham goes himself. That missed everything. And, Samuel not retrieving that one back. Substitution being made. Bain Shepherd coming back in. And it will be Elijah Pawson to have Brewer. Timeout called by head coach Mark Nash with 2:04 remaining in the third.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep, I was just going to take a quick nap there.
Sorry.
Rule book. He's going back to his rule book to find out. But there was contact, and as JB saw, and it wasn't on the ball. And it wasn't on the ball, so...
Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I'll talk with referee Clement after the game and just get a bit more clarity around that. But it was under one of the 5 criteria as well too. So there's 5 criteria now with the unsportsmanlike foul. So, I mean, it was there, and both of you guys have pretty much have said that. So I'm in agreement. So I'm just trying to find the exact ruling on that.
I'd like to hope that Sam Ewell didn't make the extra floppy thing, because I only looked when I saw it, he was in the air. Collapsus is generally, he's not out to hurt anybody. I know that. So, but anyway, it is what it is, and it's only a 13-point game now, so it would be really good for the crowd and for all involved here if they can get it under 10 and make a real game of it. At the moment, as JB said, Grenadiers are in control, and everything that Kingston throw at them, Grenadiers seem to respond pretty quickly to, but we don't know. We've got Elijah Pawson on the bench again, so I'm not sure if that's to run a juniors or he's probably just not having best game either.
I think, too, the big thing at the moment is as Nyhouse goes down, just couldn't keep his feet. Catches it, though. There it is again. Had that glass, couldn't capitalise. But I think the big thing, too, is the Kings are just trying to rely a bit too much on Elijah, and that's making it easily defended. And that is a late call. That was on the arms there. I think that one's from Stratsma. Yep, got him on the arms as he went up. Looked like he got him from here. But I think the idea is, just having Pawson off at the moment.
I'll go third referee on that one.
Too predictable, Ronnie.
Yeah, no.
That was, I didn't, but he's closer than us.
I thought he took the arms.
Yeah, I thought there was some contact there. So to me...
I thought Harry was going nowhere, and he's pretty lucky. But there were arms there, but... You know, and he's a good foul shooter too. So.
And, of course, Griffiths will
Of course, he
make
misses as soon as I did
one and
that.
two. Yes, you put the mockers on him, Glenn.
Always do.
First time this year. I think that's...
Well, considering our normal rules around that, your beer budget will be narrowing
I'm
down.
not doing that again.
Strasma gets inside. Good pressure, but then Strasma quickly recovered for the two.
Mate, I've seen Harry Griffiths get 20 shots in a row in a game, and then I just pump him up for a foul shot, and then I pumped him up before and he airballed a shot, so I give up.
Right,
But I
meanwhile...
still think he's a gun of a player.
So Young down low. Here's Minty, who puts it to the floor, kicks it back out.
Ooh.
Young now Griffiths from downtown, just short on that one.
Come on, Harry, help me,
And
mate.
then Youngie goes for it himself and gets it to go. Nice work by Matty Young.
Still haven't got an arrow. I love the swagger that Youngie has after he hits a shot. He just saunters down the floor.
Just reminds me of Casper Ware last night. He had some swagger when he hit one of the daggers in the game against Brisbane last night.
Well, Matty Young, like, you can see why he's a crowd favourite with the Hobart Chargers. Like, you know, big smile on his face, hits a three, you know, spot someone in the crowd, make sure that he lets them know, and he does these little arrows, and, you know, so it's good to see, yeah.
So
running Griffiths to the other corner. There he is, relocated.
Griffiths
Defenders
from
late.
downtown and short again as we go into the last 30 seconds of this third quarter, and the ball just runs out of space for Bain Shepherd.
Probably one thing I noticed for Harry then is that he looked down to see if he was outside the three-point line, which is, you don't do that.
No, you never do that.
You
get and shoot.
Catch and shoot.
Well,
Don't worry about where you are. But I'm not sure what's going on there.
No, not sure. I think it's something to do with the shot clock being out.
5 seconds.
So Yule goes for it. And that's a pass to Harry Griffiths, who on the three-quarter time buzzer gets the two to go after having a few attempts from the land of plenty. And this margin out to 17, 53-36. Grandies lead it. We'll come back with you for the last quarter just after this. Start of the final quarter here as we Kingston down by 17. And need to work hard in this first couple of minutes to try to make a bit of a game of it, as Grandies seem to be in the box seat to take out the pre-season tournament. But we'll find out in about 9.5 minutes' time. So, Samuel.
Did the Grenadiers win all their games yesterday, Glenn?
I believe they did.
I
believe they did.
I commentated all the games and still don't know.
Young goes over Strasma. Shepherd taps it to Pawson as Pawson comes up the floor here now for Kingborough. Now to Strasma once again for three.
Bang!
And that's good by Noah Strasma.
They need that energy, Ronnie. 14 points is very much makeable, but they're going to have to outscore their team, the opposition, plus 18 in this final quarter. It's a good start. Can they do it?
So Griffiths with it here.
And
now,
I think he's going to be the X factor here, young Harry. His off-ball movement.
Yeah, Samuel. So you're working inside the Latham. Now here's
There
Griffiths.
Oh.
Puts it to the floor.
Like the young
Now
man.
back to Yule. Yule goes from Curry range and can't activate his own cheat mode there.
Goes from where? Curry range.
Yeah, Curry range. Yes.
I
Meanwhile,
don't think
Shepherd
so. The Curry
gets the and one to go, and this is a good start by Kingborough in this final quarter. A quick 5-sip run, marching back at 12, and it could be going back as far as 11 if Shepherd can convert the free throw.
I'm glad you've worked away to kind of get away with jinxing him there, Ronnie. Non-paid promotion. But yeah, if we can make this to an 11-point game, then yeah, all of a sudden those mini battles. But we could also make it to a 10-point game, Ronnie. Let's get back to it.
Let's see, Strasma from downtown. Back-to-back triples for Noah Strasma.
Now it's starting to fall. We've
and
got a
now
game in our
9
hands.
points is our margin, 53-44, 8:40 remaining in this last quarter. Grandies need to get something happening on the offensive end.
Why can't we have this situation where we jinx a player and they turn it into another play? Bang!
And down the other end, Samuel converts on the and one and will go to the line for one. And a foul will be called here on Nyhouse.
And there's some unhappy campers in the light blue camp, and this could very well undo that three-point shot and have it back out to 12.
Absolutely. So Samuel at the free throw and gets that one to roll. So marching back out to, well, I'm seeing 12.
Back out to 12.
12, thank you.
But that also puts the Kings back to square one. That momentum in that crowd are going to want to get back into it.
Oh,
I know a guy who
absolutely,
loves
yeah.
getting into it, Bain Shepherd.
Oh, that's unsportsmanlike.
No, that will
that's
be.
unsportsmanlike.
No, that one won't be. He was reaching for the ball.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon he got the legs. You have a look at that
He
again.
did, but he had no intention of grabbing the leg. I think he was playing for the ball. The last thing we need is
No, it's good.
last thing we need is a three-man argument over another unsportsmanlike
No, but
thing.
it's good that the referee didn't call it that way. Like, there's no malice in it. It was good that it wasn't that, but I'm not sure with the rules these days as to, and it depends who's officiating as well. Like, you know, these guys don't want the game to be about them, which is good.
So Latham with the drive,
Well,
found an
Matty Young's
open
just rolled
lane.
his ankle, I think.
Yeah,
Or
he's
hip?
actually
No,
grabbing
it's
his hip.
So Claps is working his way through. Now gives it to Strasma for triple threes to get us going in this
back.
in
That
this
makes
last
an 11-point
quarter.
ball game.
So back to 11. Kingborough need to up the ante here with their pressure as they try and work back to single digits in this ball game. So Latham now with the ball carrying duties, gives it off to Young. Young
We
with a
should have
fake,
shot it then.
and that's a foul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he'd probably be a bit disappointed that he didn't get that shot up then because he knew.
Now, I'm just having a look here. Nyhouse has gone straight to the bench. Is that foul number 5? It is.
is.
So that's a big out.
it is. So who's coming in? So Caleb Nash is back in.
Nash
and
is in permanent. Both not. So that's
young Geordie Strassman's
both,
back in.
both Stratsmers, a Clapsus, a Pawson, and a Nash.
And
But that's massive. Nyhouse has had a massive afternoon, and to see him now missing up to 7 minutes of game time, that's a big loss of rotation.
It is. And he really, as we've talked about, he's been a
Oh,
shining
Clapsus.
light for the Kingborough Kings
so
club.
Strasma now Pawson.
Oh, bullet.
Collapses to Strasma. Good two-man game action there.
Back to 9.
So 58-49, and Kingborough finding their way here in this last quarter. We've been missing it all game, but they've finally found their groove. As now Latham, and you're just getting caught up there. Latham puts it to the floor, goes himself, and it was a good option.
He is having a very good fourth quarter to start with, a reasonably quiet rotational piece most of the weekend.
And
as
Claps is trying to do one
has
too
stepped out of
many.
bounds.
But I think when Latham drives through the middle of the key, the defence, the rest of the teammates in D have just got to come across and have a presence there. Like Latham, he's a good little player. He's a tough player, and he goes hard to the basket. So put a bit of pressure on, make it at least a little bit difficult for him.
So here's Latham now, and off to you as Grandy slowed this one down. It
Back
just
to 11 points.
ticked on near halfway in this final quarter. Here's Bestwick, who puts it to the floor, goes himself, and probably not the best of shots.
hello.
And Young and Claps has kind of come in the how do you do part, and ball back to Grandiers.
So back out to 11 points here, and we're already halfway through. Such has been the energy in this final quarter. A running clock is certainly going to decide this one, I feel.
And you can't get that to go. Bestwick with the O ball, taps out to Latham.
Good rebound.
Latham puts it to the floor, nearly gets stuck. Yule thought about it, now goes for it. And just short on that one. So Latham again, good hustle by Grenadiers. Howard, now Yule, he's young, thinking about it, goes to the floor. Beautiful pass
Latham
into
again.
Latham for the 2.
He's got 8 points in this fourth quarter here, Latham, and while the energy's been with the Kings, he's certainly been the difference.
And what a great pass that was from Matty Young. He pulls those passes off, and when his teammates put him in, he looks pretty damn good.
And
that's good.
Yep, go JB.
That's good defence there by the Grenadiers. I mean, they're just reapplying this pressure to the Kings, who just can't build that momentum after those opening few minutes. And these last couple of trips down the floor have been all Grenadiers.
And their bench, look at that. The bench is up. They're happy.
Positive body language.
It really does. It's like a 6-man for him, isn't it? Really? I know we're only in a small stadium. Oh,
No call.
No call.
No call there. They're away.
Nash,
Nash
off and running.
And that's just
Good
stripped
work
away
by
by
Bestwick. Nash won the foul. Referees didn't see it that way. Down the other end we go. Young, open. Yes.
And he's only slow there, Matty Young, so be interesting to see. But again, this game's gone from a 9-pointer with lots of energy back to 15 points, and I think conceded at the moment.
And Shepherd tries to go for a response and was short on that one. So Yule,
I'd still be looking to try to get the ball to Noah Stratsman as much as I could at the moment. He's the one with the hot hand. Just try and bridge the gap. Play D.
Wrong person to leave open.
Young for back-to-back triple.
Okay,
No, can't get it to
was the right
go.
person to leave open. Try to build Rome with that effort.
And Sam Ewell again. Sam Ewell's played a real veterans game today. He's kept Elijah Pawson
Oh,
quiet
Latham,
Beautiful
good read,
play.
good drive.
while still doing some really good things himself. So
And timeout called here by Mark Nash. And this margin has ballooned out. 3:24 remaining in the last.
Yeah, we're out to 18 points here. That's doubled the margin from where we were only a few moments ago. And yeah, I mean, it's that veteran leadership, as you mentioned. It's the solid play of a Harry Griffiths, who's young and moving off the ball. It's the Jordan Lathams coming into the game, knowing their role. And I mean, that's honestly the best spurt of basketball he's played all weekend. But it's been worth 10 points to him here in the fourth quarter. 8 of them scored, and then he had that nice little give and go with Ewell there. Matty Young hitting shots, throwing passes. Samuel doing his thing. I mean, as much energy is coming out of that Grenadiers team as they can, and from the two key energy guys in Ewell and Young as well, inspiring guys by Latham. Meanwhile, for the Kings, obviously with Nyhouse going out, he's had a really solid afternoon, albeit until his 5th foul there. And this is just a Kings unit, Glenn, that we haven't seen all weekend. They've been full of confidence, they've been full of energy, full of execution, and really listening to their directions. But I mean, we're late here on a Sunday afternoon. They're into their 5th game. This is a Kings team that was in Div 2 in the second pool, so they're playing their 5th game, and I think it's finally taking its toll, especially with the lack of rotations.
Yeah, and they're not the tallest team in the world when you take out Simpson.
And on top of that, the next best big Nyhouse is sitting on the bench. Yeah,
he's got 5, and I thought, once he left the game, I think we realised that it's going to be really hard again. But they've made a few good runs, I must say, at the Grenadiers, but the Grenadiers have responded accordingly.
That's a good block by Latham. Got a finger on that, Ronnie.
He did. Geordie Strassman tried to put up the 3, but partially blocked there by Jordan Latham as Grenadiers come down the floor. Just on 3 minutes remaining here in the last. There's Latham now.
Who's earned his right to take a shot, and he has been a part of at least 12 points this quarter for them. 10 scored in that give and go. He's been really valuable.
Shepherd for the response, can't get it. Good work by young Geordie Strathmore, but
jump ball.
Good work by Grenadiers as well to force a jump ball. Ball goes back to Kingborough.
And this is a very good sign. I mean, this is a good boost for both teams. I mean, having both played 5 games and seeing as grand finalists, I mean, we could be looking at an end-of-season preview right here, but
as Strathmore knocks down the 3.
And again, not to knock anything the Kings have been doing, but I mean, Strathmore's hit 4 threes in this quarter to no avail. So, I mean, that should really tell you the effort, Glenn, that the Grenadiers are putting forward.
And it's a big call. And you could be right, these two could contest SBL Grand Final, the Chargers, Hobart Basketball League Grand Final, but you've also got Phoenix that always are there, and Glenorchy Spartans
Southern Wolves,
who have got a great squad as well.
Substitutions being made. Caleb Nash coming in.
All 3 young players. That'll be Rose, Dolliver and Griffiths on, along with Jalen Howard and Alex Beswick. So clearly the reserves team, Pawson's come off. That'll be the end of his tournament as well. But it'll be interesting to see how some of these young guys play. A really good preview here for the future of the league.
Absolutely, JB. And we'll get to see some good quality talent here now. So here's Rose. Puts it to the floor, now gives it back to Dodoliba. Now Griffiths from the corner here for 3.
Whoa.
Can't get that to go. Howard with the O board and the putback.
Yeah, Rose with the tip down there to Howard, and it's out to 19. And the Grenadiers, I did warn them that they had to beat the state team, as Shepherd won't say die, so Nash wants them to stay up. 16 points, a big ask in a minute. But yes, the Grenadiers really fighting through. I did challenge a couple of them to, really get it done against the state team. They did that. There's Rose.
So
Griffiths not afraid to put up a shot.
No, he's certainly not. Here's Doliver, who has been working hard over the past year or so with his game. Good pass in the Griffiths.
Stripped away there.
Good D by the Kings. So Shepherd off and running. Goes himself and gets it to go.
Yeah, 14 points now. So the Kings trying to make this look respectable, but it was that middle period of this quarter that cost them the game in the end.
So Howard straight through the middle.
Contact,
and gets the
line.
foul.
Yeah, easy call to make there.
So that'll be on young Geordie Strathmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Geordie needs to remind himself, you're only a rookie in the league, son, so you won't get away with that one.
Yeah, well, there was some clear body contact there. From our angle, we had a much better line of it
yes.
than most.
Yes, had the best seat in the house, JB.
Very much so.
As I like to
Glenn,
say.
what have you made of this Grenadiers team? I mean, they're going to be running, if that's their side this year, they're going to be a team capable of running all 12 players, or confident enough to run all 12 players. They've got good rotation through most of their position. They've got to be going to have to be one that we certainly keep an eye on.
Well, it's really good to see the level of competition. We may have a couple of charges recruits that will come in and play for someone maybe.
And Noah Strassman with the two there, guys.
It's definitely the league's getting stronger now, and it's good to see that there's teams other than Glenorchy and Phoenix that that can compete for the title next year.
And Grenadiers get the win here by 13 in the end and take out the pre-season tournament. And a good job by Grenadiers, who were in control pretty much the majority of that game.
Thoroughly deserved that win, and they had a number of players that did play well. Matthew Young, had a good, strong first half, I should say, and Sam Mule played pretty consistent the whole game, and then I think everyone sort of did their role. No one dominated until, as we said, last quarter. Latham probably got 10 or 12 points, or if not more. And once the big fella got fouled off Kings, Latham come in and really shut it down for the Grenadiers, and
I think the best way to summarise this one, Ronnie, is that Grenadiers played their best game all weekend. The Kings played their worst, and I mean that was your result. I mean it was a bit of a back and forth tussle there at the start of the last quarter, but the veterans of the Grenadiers, the Lathams, the Yules and the Youngs, got the job done in the end. And a bit of a surprise. I thought the Kings were going to go through and win it all. I did think they were going to play either the Grenadiers or BTAS. I didn't think Glenorchy were going to be up for it, just with the way they finished yesterday. But no, the Grenadiers really getting it done, really solid, and that's a great foundation to build heading into season 2021.
Absolutely. Thanks to Glenn and JB for their thoughts. Thanks to JB for taking on the whole broadcast throughout the entire weekend. I've only jumped in on the last few hours of today, so good work, JB.
It's always a bit of fun, Ronnie, and thank you to Peter Roby, Blythe Tate and Phoenix and everyone who have kindly donated that seat for me to use. Other than sitting on a bath towel and my hoodie yesterday, I can assure you now that pine seats are the most uncomfortable thing in the world, and I certainly wouldn't enjoy my time if I had to permanently sit on them. But no, thank you for letting me use all the gear. Thank you to everyone who joined us throughout, Glenn.
Yes.
Especially thank you to yourself for helping us out on both days. Thank you to David and Mark who joined us yesterday. Overall everyone who's chipped in and helped us out throughout the days, last couple of days. It's been good, and Glenn, should be a good season of senior basketball.
I think it's going to be really good. We talk about the juniors that we talk about the juniors that are getting minutes in the Div 1 comp, and it's full credit to the coaches for really allowing and mixing up experienced players with youngsters, and it's going to make the league tougher this year and the next few years. It's just going to get stronger and stronger. I think they've got the junior Chargers squad now. I believe that's up and running.
Chargers Academy, yep.
Chargers Academy, and I'm sure that there's a number of these young guys that are in that. So that's why Hobart's so exciting. Plus we've got the NBL coming in, so Hobart's probably in the best place basketball-wise at what it's been in a long time. And it's going to be a ripper of a season this year. We talk about Glenorchy full strength, Grenadiers full strength. Well, we just saw them.
Kings at full
strength were pretty impressive yesterday. Hobart Phoenix are always they're always there, so they've always.
Wolves are rejuvenated as well.
Yep. So it's and then we've got Dominoes who have just you give them a few years, the young fellas in there, and they get a couple of recruits and Chargers recruits and stuff, and it's just going to make everyone better in the league. So it's good, and I thought the referees did a great job over that weekend. And obviously the volunteers, but I thought the refs were really good and consistent. There's probably less than a handful of tech fouls, I'd say, which is unusual.
I reckon there was 2-3 all weekend.
Yeah.
So I think a credit to everyone involved, Ronnie. Thank you once again, and I think we've started 2021 on the right foot.
Absolutely. So that will wrap us up here from the Kingborough Sports Centre. Make sure you keep up to date on the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel for all the latest games and live streams that we provide, and of course we'll have our SBL coverage happening in April along with our NBL 1 coverage as well too. So on behalf of Glenn Fairfield and Justin Bryan, I'm Roel Riggs, and this has been another edition of the West Coast Ball Connection, and we'll see you soon.